So Sagri and Gabimaru are already kind of becoming best friends, right? Before we get to today's video, I want to take a moment to talk about Patreon. That's right, we are on Patreon now, and we have a bunch of tiers with a bunch of great rewards. You can subscribe and get things like early access to all reactions, depending on your tier, depends on which reactions you get early access to. You can vote on polls exclusive to patrons that will help determine future reaction series and more. You will get to just have various choices in terms of like getting to choose future reactions I react to, getting to choose first impressions I check out, all kinds of different rewards, and possibly more coming in the future. We're still new at this. We're still figuring things out. It's a process. It's a process. But we have multiple tiers, so whatever you would be able to donate, if you're able and willing to donate, is appreciated. It helps me out, it helps the channel out, it helps us grow. It's going to help just, standardly. It's just something new to check out. Plus, if you like getting the reactions early, that's also a plus. But it is optional. If you're unable to do it, that's completely fine. All reactions will come to YouTube just a little bit later, a week later or so. So that all being said, thank you as always so much, and let's get on with today's video. And with that being said, hey everyone, welcome to Princess K. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with my blind reaction to Season 2, Episode 3 of Hell's Paradise. Gabimaru has got his memory back. I'm glad they didn't take too long on this, and Sagri helped him get there. She kind of reminded him what was important in his life, as well as showing just how far he's come by, being a good friend. Just being someone who was there for him when he needed it. And I think he's going to appreciate it, even if he has a hard time showing it. But our mission continues, and it's just a matter of seeing, how we get to facing the Tensen and all. Because this is tricky. This is tough. They're insanely dangerous, insanely terrifying. And it took so much just to take one of them out. So I don't even know how we plan to do the rest of them. We have a good group here. We have a good amount of allies, all of whom are very strong. But I feel like the Tensen are going to know that one of their own was taken out and, probably not fight alone anymore. I guess we'll just have to see. It's going to be pretty crazy. I think we should just get into this, though. Let's not waste any more time. Except I'm going to waste a tiny bit more of your time by reminding you that we have a Patreon now. Starting at the beginning of the year, we opened up our Patreon. Link is in the description below, by the way. And you can get early access to all reactions. Not only for Hell's Paradise, but everything we do on the channel. Depending on your tier, you get reactions to movies early. If for the $5 tier, the $10 tier adds in series reactions. And so on and so forth. Every tier adds in a new form of reactions that you can check out early. There's also other rewards, such as getting to vote on exclusive polls in the future, and getting to choose things for me to, react to in the future. A lot of cool rewards. All of them are properly labeled on their respective tiers, which again, you can find on the page in the description below. But it's completely optional. It's not something you have to do, but it does help me out a lot. It's just an extra way of supporting the channel. This is, my full-time thing. I between this and the gaming channel, I'm doing this stuff all day, every day practically. So it does help me out, gets me a little more money to be able to continue with the channel and just, general purposes. But that all being said, If you're unable to, if you just can't and or don't want to for whatever reason, that's perfectly fine, perfectly understandable. Like I said, it's completely optional. All reactions will come to YouTube at some point anyway. But that being said, thank you so much for tuning in. And yeah, let us check out today's reaction. Hold up just a sec. Before you click that link down in the description below to get to today's video, I want to remind you of all the awesome content we have both on this channel and the Princess of Gaming channel. Let's check it out. Welcome to the Afterthoughts, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So I went back and looked it up with last episode because I wanted to check, I wanted to be sure. There wasn't a post-credits scene, there was just a tiny little, like, few seconds at the end where it showed Rien, like, approaching Chobei. It was, like, super brief, and I think that's, I guess, why I forgot it. It was like, maybe less than 10 seconds. But yeah, this episode got very emotional at the end, but we also learned a lot. We learned that everything on this island, all of the Soshin, all of the Tensen, everything on here, all these monsters, these bugs, these plants, the elixir of life, the tan, all of this stems from a single person who basically just learned to manipulate Tao and shit to an immense level. The first emperor had taken a buttload of people and gone out to sea, disappeared, never to be seen from again. We now know clearly that the people were turned into the inhabitants of this island in all of their manners. The Emperor also combined pieces of his own Tao with the Tao of the plants to create the Tensen, with Rien and Mei being the very first two, and the others all being like younger siblings to them. Which is really fascinating. But Rien ended up becoming cruel over time. He ended up becoming like this horrific monstrosity compared to the others, to the point where he horrifically tortured and abused Mei, including sexually, which we already knew about. But it's fucked on so many levels. Rien seems like he's the true villain here. And might be the, like, final Tensen we end up having to take on. No matter what form she's in at the time, she's definitely going to be, like, the biggest problem. Although right now, it seems like she's in the middle of getting fucked by Chobei. Because Chobei's just like, you know what, bitch? Adapt and survive. I'm gonna take you to Bone Town. It's so silly. But, like, realistically, what else can he do? Like, he acknowledged he can't defeat Rien. He definitely would not be able to likely run away. So, what else is he supposed to do? Besides, you know, like, fight. Or not fight, fuck. What else is he supposed to do? By engaging in Bochujutsu with them, he's able to increase his understanding and ability of using Tao. Now, Rien is impressed by Chobei and wants to indoctrinate him into their group in a way. Um, when they basically try to take over the world. And I don't know if this is mostly Rien's plan or if the hermit is even still alive and has any say in any of this. We don't know. All we know is that at least Rien is on board with it. Rien wants to take over the world and is just setting everything into motion to do so at the moment. And Chobei is just trying to get stronger so he can actually do something about any of this and get back to his brother, who got a sick-ass haircut. It's a bit of an anime trope at this point for characters to like cut off their own hair, and it's usually done for a varied amount of reasons. Sometimes to show your dedication and strength, sometimes to make up for something you've done that you regret. There's a lot of different manners. Sometimes it's just, to get out of a situation, like with Sakura in Naruto. She cuts her hair because, her long hair was being used against her, and it's like, bitch, I need to escape. But then you even have anime-inspired cartoons like Avatar: The Last Airbender and Legend of Korra doing this, with Zuko and Korra both cutting their hair to represent kind of, in a way, like dying to who they used to be and becoming someone new. With Zuko having realized, Iroh as well, Iroh does it too. Zuko and Iroh learning that the Fire Nation is against them now, and them, turning against them in response. And with Korra, because of, all of the trauma. Just a shit ton of trauma. Unbelievable amounts of trauma. That's pretty much what Legend of Korra ends up being just about. This young woman going through insane trauma for her age. Over and over and over again. And just having to deal with it, and not doing a very good job at that, because who would? But here we see him do it in order to basically, I wouldn't say lower himself to Blade Dragon. He more does it as like a symbol. It's symbolic of him choosing to serve under Blade Dragon as his apprentice because he wants to become stronger to be able to adapt and help his brother. And so it's a symbolic gesture that's just meant to represent him trying to put himself under someone else's wing, basically. Yeah, May's goodbye to her father, to Hoko, was extremely emotional. It got me to cry. It did. Because we know he had been taking care of her for all this time, and we know that they had a father-daughter relationship. They absolutely did. So, seeing, like, him willingly give up his Tao to heal her, and to have that one last goodbye, and him being apologetic because he felt like he took her life away and made it all about him and his desire to have a daughter again. But like her acknowledging that it was real nonetheless, and that their relationship was genuine. It's like, God damn it, that's so fucking emotional. They did such a good job at that. The voice acting was obviously like one of the biggest factors of that. it kind of goes in line with what I always say about why I prefer anime to like manga, because of stuff like that just not being a part of manga. Like you, some people can feel emotions when reading manga, but I don't. And I've talked about this before. I don't understand entirely why. But whenever I'm reading a manga, even if it's a part I would get emotional at in an anime or have gotten emotional at in an anime, it does nothing for me in the manga. And I can't fully explain it, but the only things I can think of is that it's because the music, um the voice acting, all of that is part of what makes it so emotional for me. Stuff like Robin crying out, "I want to live" in the Enies Lobby arc of One Piece. It's because of the voice actor crying that out, because of the music that surrounds that scene. Same with also in One Piece when Nami asks Luffy to help her at Arlong Park, and he cries out in response, "Of course I will." It's like it's the voice acting that does that. The music, stuff that you just don't get in manga. That's what is making it emotional for me. Not just the story beats, not just the character moments. Those are great, of course, and obviously they're needed for it. But what's truly putting it over the edge for me is that voice acting, and it's the same thing here. Their voice acting was just that good that it won me over. I also like that little brief fight we had with Gabimaru being like attacked by everyone else. It was so brief. It's like everyone basically went after him once, and then that was it. Maybe twice if you want to count when they all gained up on him and he protected newer guy. But still, it was so brief. There was more of a fight between Rien and Chobe. And that was pretty fun too. Chobe actually getting in a few really, really good hits. And if that had been Rien's true body, would have even killed them. Because Chobe used the weak point and managed to kill the clone at least. So that's pretty fascinating in and of itself. And I think that's what also won over Rien. So there's that level too. But yeah, this was a really damn good episode. This episode really won me over. And I mean, I already love this series. It's a phenomenal series, but this episode was special compared to that. I don't know if I'd say it's the best episode of the series so far. I mean, that's obviously very hard to say, but it might be the best of the season so far. I might be willing to give it that. That being said, though, tell me what you thought of this episode in the comments below. And thank you so much, as always, for tuning in. For now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.